I've owned a fair share of synths over the course of the last couple of years. Out of all of those synths, when it comes to the MIDI implementation, the OPC has by far the best MIDI implementation I've ever encountered. In this video, I'm going to show you how I used the MIDI implementation on one of the songs I've released 2 years ago, called Drud. And we will go through the MIDI mapping, and then I will try and perform the song, and it will fail miserably. But I think it's a learning experience, and you will hear the end results. So let's jump in. Okay, so in front of us we have the OPC together with the FADERFOX UC-4, and I will describe exactly how I map this out. If you press these buttons here, together with Edit Setup, you change, Edit Setup, you change groups. So I have two groups. One is more drum oriented, one is for the synth tracks over here. In group 1 we have the more synth oriented tracks, and in group 2 we have the drum oriented tracks. So if we look at the push buttons, we'll cycle through the mute groups, you see here, and the encoders themselves will, on the top row, we're in group 2 now, so that's a drum oriented, go on a drum track. The top row will change the step length of each sequence. The bottom row will change the step count. Then we have the faders. The faders, they change the levels of each track. So it's track 1 to 8. So it's basically going through all these tracks, changing the level on those tracks. Then we have, on this device, we have the fader. This more DJ style fader. And if you look at the master track and look on the filter, you'll see what it's doing, and you will hear it as well. Since the master track filter, or all the filters on the OPC, are bipolar, I'm using the faders, because this fader is bipolar as well. I'm using the bipolarity to change from low to low pass to high pass, and so on. And let's see if it was on this track. I have this 8 buttons here. I've mapped out to the let's see if I can. I've mapped out to the performance track. Usually I just set this up, so I have the tape track as well that I use on these buttons. You can see, for example, I'll use it. Sorry, wrong group. But you can set it out as notes as well. So basically this is the same. So that's how I map these. And the two last here, I have mapped to change to step through patterns, so I can make pattern changes. You see how I'm cycling through these. And all this mapping is to make for a performance device. So this whole kit here is a great performance tool for performing live. So we go into edit setup here to see exactly which MIDI CCs and notes we're using for these. So I press Shift and Edit, Group 1. And let's see, boop, there you go. Then you see encoder 1, that's this encoder, is set to CC, and it's set to CC number 60 on channel 5, CC 60 on this channel. And CC number 60 changes the step length. If you go down to encoder number 5, which it's set also to this channel, number 61. Number 61 changes the step count. So I think, oh no, you can't, sorry. 5. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong track here. There you go, here. Jup, 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 jup. So, all in all, together with these, so it's 60, 61 set to all these different tracks. And I have two groups, which one is for synths and one is for the drum tracks. And this is specifically for the step length and the step count. Other than that, everything else is the same. I could maybe add, say on the drum tracks, I have tape track down here, and on the synth track, I have performance. That could be an option as well, and I will probably implement that for that, because that would be another level to the performance of this. So I will just demonstrate how to use this quickly. Oh, rather, we could actually go through. We could actually go through these as well, which notes I'm using here. So we press Edit Setup, and we change down to push to button 1. And that is set as channel 13, which is the performance channel. With note on, and I have toggle, so every time I press it, it holds the key. When I press it again, it turns off the key press. So channel 13, note, and it's set on note 109. That is this note. And that mutes the synth tracks, or changes the velocity. On button 2, I have, 109 is this key press. So it changes the, let's see, there you hear, changes the velocity. It changes the velocity of the drum tracks. Button 2 is set to note 121, and that changes, it's this button, that changes the velocity of the synth tracks. So I set this up to have the same corresponding feature for the drum tracks and the synth tracks. So when I press these, that will lower the velocity of the synth and drum tracks, and so on. So on button 3, we have note 108, which is this note, I think. Yeah, exactly. It's this note. So sorry, it's that note. Yeah, it's that note. Sorry, not this note, that note. And on button 4, we have the same corresponding note here, and that's note number 120. If we go to 5, this note. And that's note number 105. Button 6, 117, which is this note. So that will do the same step count or step performance on the synth tracks. And that's basically how I set it up. Next I will show you how to do this in a more performative setting. I will try to dig up my old files for the track called Drud, which is a track where I used especially this section a lot. Welcome back to my messy desk. I've rummaged through my files, and thanks for my foresight and my clarity, I actually named my backup files EP1. So I knew that this was the backup files I was using for the EP. So I managed to find the song as well, and it's even more unassuming than I thought. It's really incredible. So we can take a look here. If we look at each track here, so we're basically using one step. We have one trigger on each track being triggered polyrhythmically. And that's it. And I'm using the UC-4 and the Midi CC mapping for the step length and the step count to perform. And that's basically the song. And I did the song in one take, and the results were... It's actually one of the best songs I've ever made, I think, personally. Maybe it's because I know how I made it and how I most probably won't ever be able to replicate it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try to replicate it, the thing that I can't do, and we'll see if it turns out well. So yeah, let's go. basically something like that. In the song, in Drud, I was able to get a better flow, and therefore it turned out great. I think this was not as good, but it's something. It shows you what can be done with this, and how incredible powerful it is, and how just the amount of creativity and fun you can have with this. Just little setup. Yeah, it's incredible. I will actually leave you with the song Drud, so you will hear it for yourself. Okay. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. Hi! It's me again. Okay, so I was gonna feed you the song, as I told you, and when I listened to it, I realized the example we used now was actually not the song. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's up with my mind. It seems like I'm just very tired. But you're gonna hear it now, and honestly, I think it's incredible. I just love it. And I think one big note that I must state here is that I'm using the original SP404 from Roland, the sampler, and using the vinyl simulator on that, which has a compressor, and that is compressing the whole mix a whole lot, and it's adding a lot of nice textures to it. Like the initial hit is like a bass drum kick, and it's got this like suction to it. It's always sucking you into the song, and it's I love it. I love basically everything about the song. So I'm not gonna stop rambling now, and you're gonna have to listen to it. Okay, take care.